Now, obviously, the big part of this interview, man, it's to talk a little bit about your TikTok fame. But before we get into that, I did want to ask you kind of about your upbringing a little bit.
Okay.
Where were you born, and you know, because I believe you told me Alberta, Canada, but were you born there?
Yeah, I was born in a place called Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I was raised there for the better part of my life, and then I moved around throughout Alberta. I moved to BC, Canada, and in 2008, I moved up here to Fort McMurray, Alberta. That's where I reside now. It's where I've been for the past, 13 or however long years it's been.
And as a kid growing up, what was it like?
Uh, I had a good upbringing. I come from a family, that doesn't have much, that didn't have much money back then. Growing up, we didn't have much. Um, when I was 10 years old, I lost my dad in a car accident. So I think one thing, uh, one thing I've been doing to cope with that growing up is comedy, and that's why I'm here today, and have the opportunity to do things like this.
That was actually now that you brought that up, like obviously losing a parent for anyone at any age is devastating. Um,
Yeah.
but so you basically use comedy in general to kind of cope during that time when you were a kid.
Yeah, I kind of, comedy's always been a crutch for me, and it's been something I use to help myself heal and help others heal when they're going through hard times. At the end of the day, if someone's going through a hard time and if I can make them laugh, basically just trying to make people feel how I wish that I felt when I was going through hard times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So then would it be safe to say that you growing up in high school, you were kind of more of the jokester in general?
Yeah, I was the class clown for sure. Always making people laugh, getting into trouble with the teachers for doing silly stuff in class. But it's always kind of been me. It's just been me.
What's the silliest thing that you remember you doing in high school?
Man, there's too many to even just stupid things you would do in high school. Like dumb things, throwing things, just being that student to make people laugh when they shouldn't be laughing. It's just kind of always been my thing.
I mean, is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing? Um,
Mm,
Now, moving into like the fun part of the interview, which is your TikTok, what made you
right.
kind of jump into TikTok? Because you got into it obviously before the pandemic and all this other stuff, but what made you get on TikTok in general?
So it's funny you ask actually because my buddy, one of my close friends here, he mentioned to us that he was on TikTok, and we all kind of made fun of him. It was a laugh thing. We're like, dude, TikTok, it's. But then I kept talking about it, and he stayed consistent with how good the videos on there were. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. I downloaded the app, and before I knew it, I threw up my first video, which was me telling a story. It wasn't a real story. It was a kind of a make believe story that I made up to kind of bring comedy to
Uh,
the app, and I think the video got like 60 views or something, and I thought I was a superstar. And I'm like, I got to keep going, like this is wicked. It got a lot of feedback my first video,
mhm.
and then I just kept on going and going, and now we're here today with 2.7 million followers.
And you said that the first video was kind of like the story that you kind of made up and everything. But
Yeah.
what made you get the idea for the "I Need Answers" video that's kind of made you kind of blow up on TikTok?
So the I Need Answers video ideas happened very organically, and it was very original to me because I hadn't seen it on the app before I did it. Maybe it happened, but I hadn't seen it.
Mhm.
So I was just kind of laying in bed at home one night. It was a late night thought coming in my head. I'm like, yo, why do noses run but feet smell, kind of thing.
Hey, think about it. Your laundry's never 100% done unless you do it naked. Hey, what do they call French fries in France?
I'm like, yo, that's confusing if you think about it. And then I kept on thinking. I had this creative mindset. So I kept on thinking, I'm like, I can get a good lineup of questions here, make it into a video, come at the camera with this goofy comedic, presents that I bring, and I added the Halloween music in the background, and
Yeah.
I think the first video that I threw up, the I Need Answers video, got like, I think it had like 100,000 or 200,000 views, and to me that was like, at that time, that was, that's my biggest video. I'm thinking, wow, it was my second biggest video, but yeah, I just kept going with it, and one day I put one up that got 14, or I think it is 15 million views, and got on World Star, Hoodvids, Instagram pages, everything. So
Did you ever
yeah.
think, like once that first video of yours blew up, you're thinking like, all right, you know what? I peaked here. It's all downhill after that. Did you think, or no?
Yeah, I mean, the TikTok has this algorithm that changes quite often, you know what I mean? So you can have a month where you're releasing video viral, and then the next month all of a sudden you're posting the same videos, except it's getting 1/4 of the views. So I think throughout my time on TikTok, I've kind of picked up on that, and I've kind of found a way to work around it. So like, I'll switch up the content, and just kind of try to stay on algorithm and because I mean, the more people that see my videos and get a laugh out of it, that's at the end of the day, that's why I'm on the app. I'm not, that was the main reason I started this whole TikTok thing and Instagram. So
Absolutely. And of all the questions that you've asked in the I Need Answers series of videos that you've made, is
right.
there still one question that still kind of boggles your mind in general more than the rest?
Oh man, I have to think of that one. Like I said, I got over 100 parts of these, so it would take a minute to think. There's a few that I still think of, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. There's so many, man. I'd have to think on that one. So many.
No, absolutely, man. So again, you've made plenty. You've made plenty of those
Well, yeah, I think I'm at 107 parts of it. So,
videos. Well,
or no, here's a good one that still weighs heavy on my mind. Why is it called a building if it's already built? Or why do they call them apartments when they're built together? I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. The building one, I'm like, that one's not that good. The apartments one was pretty good.
that was good, right?
Yes.
Right?
Now, is it safe to say that you're now a full-time TikToker, or do you still have another job?
I still have a day job. However, based off the way things have been going, I think eventually in the near future, I could definitely make TikTok and other social medias, a prime source of income so that I could live. We all got bills, but I think if I keep going and I keep grinding and keep trucking through the algorithm switches and dealing with all the up and down views, then yeah, I think for sure I can definitely make this something that could be sustainable.
Hmm. No, absolutely, absolutely. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to. But
Right.
I find that pretty interesting though, that you still have a day job and you have this kind of TikTok fame.
Hmm.
How does that kind of work? Do you still get like those moments where like maybe you're grocery shopping and maybe people notice you, or you're at work and people notice you, and what has that been like for you on a day to day?
Man, pretty much every single day, I get at least one person who, recognizes me or gives me the little smile and nod, like, "Hey, I know who you are." Um, yeah, I mean, grocery shopping, people. For an example, I was in a Starbucks line. We have a Starbucks in one of our grocery stores up here, and I seen an old teacher of mine. He was a woodshop teacher, and I said, "Hey, man, how you doing? I haven't seen you in years." And he's like, "Hey, last time I seen you was on the news because I did a news broadcast with some Canadian stations up here." And the girl behind me, she's like, "I knew I recognized you from somewhere." I had no idea who she was, but she was someone who watched my videos. But she's like, "I didn't want to say anything because I wasn't sure," but he just confirmed it. So little encounters like that, man. It's like you said, it's weird to me. I work secure. I'm actually security at an oil refinery up here in Fort McMurray. So it's weird. A lot of guys come in and people will be like, "There's no way." It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Have you still gotten used to it, or is it still kind of every day? It's still hitting you like, wow, I can't believe that people are actually recognizing.
Honestly, yeah. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever get fully used to it. Not that it's a bad thing. It's always nice interacting with people who rock with me and like the stuff that I do. You know what I mean? But Um, yeah, no, I don't think I'll ever get fully used to it. It's the first time it happened. It was very odd, like an odd situation. I think I only had like 700,000 followers, and some girl at the bar said, "You're my favorite TikToker. Let me get a picture." And I'm like, "Yo, a picture with me?" I'm like, "Say less." You know what I mean? But
Oh man,
yeah, it feels good, man.
I just think it's pretty crazy. Like in this day and age where we're dealing with a pandemic and things are kind of crazy, that you have these individual pockets of people, you yourself included, on TikTok, kind of blowing up and kind of becoming these celebrities overnight. Um,
Mm.
do you feel any pressure to constantly be putting out content consistently like that, or is it just
Yeah, I mean,
a natural thing for you?
for sure. I mean, before it was very natural in terms of like I didn't have as many people before to put content up for as I do now. So, for example, I had um in September and October, halfway through September to the end of October, a little bit through November, my numbers were insane. Like insane. I was getting 36 million views like a week, like just crazy numbers. And it got to the point where I was producing so much content and putting content out. Got to a point where I got kind of mentally drained in terms of just like feeling obligated to keep up with that. But recently, I kind of slowed down how much I'm producing. I'm trying to put more quality into the videos and just trying to relax a bit because um, over the past 2 months, I've been grinding so hard with the TikTok thing and Instagram and lives and everything. So I mean, yeah, sometimes it gets to you, but
You're
no,
good.
at the end of the day, it's what I signed up for, so I enjoy doing it.
Absolutely. And now, Jesse, you are a dad, right?
Hmm.
And I think you've mentioned it before that you're a very, very proud dad.
Yeah,
And you have a daughter, correct?
that's right. Yeah.
Is she's still too young to kind of understand that dad's kind of blown up into this kind of star?
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't fully understand. She sees I have a merch line, right? So, obviously, family's very supportive with all that. They get all the merch and stuff. So, my daughter's, we have a few masks with my face on it, and it's like an I Need Answers mask. And she's always like, "Daddy's on the mask," and it's to her, it's probably mind-boggling. I keep her away from social media, like out of the vids, for the simple fact that that not everyone on the internet's a nice person. You know what I mean? There's gonna be people who hate on you no matter how nice you are. I mean, Kevin Hart, funniest guy alive, people hate on him. You know what I mean? It's so um I try to keep her away from all that. But one day it would be cool that, it would be cool for her to know my past and, this is what I did and this is what I do. So I'm sorry about that, man.
No, no, you're good, you're good. But yeah, no, I think it is true that the internet in general can be very toxic for multiple
Exactly.
for like
Yeah.
things. But it is going to be pretty funny, I think, when she does grow up and you kind of show
Yeah.
her these 107 videos that you've made of I Need Answers, and kind of
Right.
the reaction is going to be because in general, man, your videos I think are always very lighthearted. They're kind of more than anything just to make people laugh, and I think it's good that you kind of provide that positive space for people on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing. That's the reason I started. Like I said, I've always been the guy to make myself um, look silly or look weird just to make people laugh. And I don't care what other people think. Because with anything that anyone does, there can be 100 people who like you, but for some reason, a lot of creators like myself will notice the one person who hates you. Then that's just the way it is, right? So um, I try to push that to the side, but I think I've always been the guy to just make myself look stupid, if you will, to get a laugh. So I think that's kind of what I incorporate into the I Need Answers, the intensity and the reactions and stuff like that.
Absolutely, and I think it's interesting that you mentioned that you try to kind of do your best to kind of avoid the negative comments because obviously, if you look at your comment section, the engagement and everything, you have, I want to say at most like maybe 90, 95% of your comments are all positive. People laughing,
Yeah,
enjoying it.
yeah.
How do you make sure that that one negative comment doesn't just completely, break you down?
Yeah, for the longest time, I read pretty much all my comments, especially on Instagram because my following's smaller over there, so I'm able to be more interactive. Because TikTok, you become there's so many over there, but
Well, yeah, man, you have
um,
2.7 million. You know,
yeah, it's hard to keep up with all that.
I wouldn't even want to
Yeah,
picture what your inbox looks like right now.
yeah, I had to turn off the notifications a long time ago, man. My phone wouldn't stop. But yeah, I mean, like I said, man, you can. I mean, you can talk to other creators or whatever or celebrities, and I bet you they'll have a story for you where they seen 99 great comments and then one negative comment made them feel like
Mm.
crap, because just for some reason when you see so many positive ones and then that one negative one, you gravitate towards it and you get into just being human. Naturally you get defensive. It's in our genes. So I think one way I cope with the negativity is just knowing that I have so many people who have my back in terms of haters who come in the comments. Like, I don't, there's probably comments in there of people saying some things that are nasty, and then you'll see 12 comments of people replying to them, telling them off. I don't even got to say anything. My fans will, they come through and they help me out.
Isn't that kind of crazy though? That you now can
Yeah, I don't,
have fans? Isn't that kind of
it
crazy?
is, man. I mean, I don't, to be honest, I don't like using that word a whole lot because to me it's just odd, and to me saying someone's your fan it just feels weird. To me they're all friends, man. I talk to as many people as I can. I try to be as engaging as possible, and like, yeah, it's just the word fans is a little odd to me. Try not to use it too much.
One thing that I could kind of glean already from this interview, and then when I've messaged you on Instagram to kind of schedule this interview, is that you do come off as a very humble guy. You don't.
Yeah,
I don't get any sense that all right, this is kind of a guy who's let the TikTok fame and the millions of followers get to his head. You come off
exactly.
very much like a humble dude, and I think that's a very admirable thing for someone to
Yeah,
have, especially with your fame is growing. Because I think probably by the time this interview is posted, you're gonna have already 3 million followers on
it's
TikTok.
getting there, man. It's getting there quick.
I remember when we were trying to schedule this, you were at 2 million, and then it just kept boom, boom, boom going, and now you're gonna hit
Right.
9 at any minute. Do you kind of have a vision of where you kind of want? Um, I guess you can kind of say it now. Your career going. Obviously you're going to continue with TikTok, but do you have like another step that you want to get to?
Yeah, eventually I want to expand to YouTube and start creating over there different things, vlogs, challenge videos, whatever it may be. I've always kind of had this filmmaking mindset. Edit. I'm a good editor. I can edit and stuff like that. So maybe that, and I mean, in a perfect world, one day, if everything lines up and the blessings keep coming my way, maybe one day we can get in a film or the film industry or something.
That's what I actually wanted to ask you. Would you ever be like up to doing like some skits and some funny stuff like that where you're actually performing?
100% without a doubt, man. If the right opportunity came up and it was I was available to do it and I could come through and do whatever it is, then of course, I would love to be the 2020 Jonah Hill. You know what I mean?
Again, Ben, I would have never pictured, but now I see it. I could definitely
Right?
put each other
Right?
for sure.
Yes, sir.
And and growing up, did you ever take any improv classes, any acting classes back in the day?
You know what? I never took acting classes, but I think it's kind of an odd thing, but just growing up and being the comedy guy, the class clown, I think the thing with comedy is it involves a lot of acting, right? A comedy involves body language, facial expression, everything. People just think it's jokes. It's not. It's the way you deliver the jokes. It's the way your face looks. It's the way you move your body. And I think just the years and years of me doing that naturally, I've just, I think that I I think I would play a good role in a comedy skit or a comedy film for sure.
I could see it. No, honestly, because I think even with all your TikTok videos, I feel
Mm.
like if anything, you're just practicing
I'm
constantly.
practicing, man. You know how hard it is to. It's so difficult to stay so serious, looking at myself in the mirror, asking these over the top questions.
Because like all the videos
So
start and you start running. So all of them start
yeah,
running. You get to the bathroom and boom, straight to the mirror, and it's just You know what? I'm gonna try to get a little behind the scenes question here. How many takes do you usually take to kind of do one of your 107 I need answers?
Man, okay, so that's a good question actually. I don't get asked that one very often. So, um, in terms of takes, sometimes I can have a video from start to finish in 10 minutes. You know, it depends how smoothly it's running. And because I laugh at these things when I'm saying them, you know, some of the things that come out of my mouth and the tone of my voice, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I just laugh. I'm like, this is my life right now. It's great, but it's funny, you know? So sometimes, you know, I have a video done in 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes me half an hour because I have to take 4 or 5 takes. Sometimes I don't even laugh, but I just don't like the way I said the joke, you know? So I got to do it again. But for the most part, you know, average about, I would say between 10 and 20 minutes is usually how long it takes to get one of those videos up, edited, and out, right? So
And since you told me that you have some editing experience,
yeah.
are you, I'm assuming, a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to your videos?
To an extent, you know, I do make mistakes. I have a pretty busy schedule, so I try to do the best I can in short periods of time here and there, but I do make mistakes, but I try to get them perfect for the most part. You know, a lot of the times if you see me asking these questions, even though it looks simple, that was done 3 or 4 times, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's yeah. I mean, I try to make it perfect.
No, man. And look, don't hold me to it, man. But honestly, your success just continues to kind of go and go and go. And I'm definitely a fan of your stuff. Every time you post any, like, I think I'm a little too old for TikTok myself, but
Yeah.
every time I watch your stuff, I have to give it a like, man. And I absolutely love everything that you do. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for your
man.
time. Honestly, I know you're
Thank you.
very busy. You got a day job, you got the TikTok, you got the millions of followers, the whole nine.
Mhm.
So I just want to say thank you so much, man, for your time, and I wish you the absolute best, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for having me on here.